There are four key points in artificial intelligence. Whatever you need to do to make a machine think intelligently, you need four these basic points. One, thinking humanly. Two, thinking thinking rationally. Three, acting humanly. Four, acting rationally. These are the four major points you need to know, or your device or your machine needs to know before it can be fully acknowledged into the field of artificial intelligence. As an AI student, whenever you see artificial intelligence machine, app, or anything performing, you should note that these 4 points are already in place, are already implemented in such thing. Now let's take thinking humanly. What do we mean by thinking humanly? Okay, thinking humanly here means you are giving the machine or the app the ability to think like a human. We don't want to use the word think, else it will be called a circular definition. So we are going to make the machine actually innovate, or actually create something, or actually mimic something, actually bring out something like a human being. Any question with that? All right. Thinking rationally. Thinking rationally is the ability to make the machine think in a way that will seem right, or in a way that will be seem correct, or in the correct order. Now, rationally here means you, the human being, is going to provide that rationale. The machine won't identify rationale. For example, you can't tell me that whenever I come to your house and I see you, can someone mute the mic? All right, take note. Now, you can't tell me when I come to your house and I see you eating with your leg, you can't tell me I should judge you as rational. Meanwhile, your hands are there. All right. Meanwhile, your hands are there. I will tell you, even though you have your excuse that, but based on me and based on what I've seen and based on my rationale as a human being, me seeing you eating with your leg, putting the spoon between your various legs, that small thing, putting the spoon there and feeding. Meanwhile, your hands are there is no problem with your hands. I will automatically judge you as irrational. This guy is actually going mad, or this girl is actually not good. Like, it's not. You will see. So you, the human being, would define rationally thinking to the machine. One, you will make the machine think humanly. Thinking humanly, the machine can sit there, actually analyze the data being given to it, predict as the same you humans can do. Rationally, the machine, you've been fed the machine knows that, right, look, when you get a food, take a spoon and scoop the food from the bowl, then send it straight to your mouth and eat. That's the rationale you've given to the machine, and so that's what the machine is going to mimic. When when you approach a robot and the robot takes the food, although using the hand and the spoon, but puts the food on top of its head, it means this robot, there is something wrong. Either there is something wrong with the robot or there is something wrong with the creator. Third point, acting humanly.
Hello, sir.
Come again. Come.
Please, I have a question.
Yes.
So, assuming the data that has been provided to the machine or the robot was misinterpreted by the machine itself, it wasn't well analyzed, and therefore, it doesn't really move according to the command that has been given. Does it really mean the creator is incorrect, or the data it was fed with that wasn't quite
All right.
understandable?
I get your question. Thank you for such question. Before you will be done with your machine or whatever you are trying to make it artificial intelligent, you will train it and test it. Look, I have data sets. I want to train my robot in my room so that the robot, whenever it's 5 o'clock, the robot will wake me up. All right. Now, this is the data I've given to the robot. I've given the data. This is an example of the data. One, what the robot should do when it strikes 5. Now, I've given the robot sound, the sound it will hear from my alarm. So whenever it hears that sound from my alarm, it should perform or it should come and touch me, shake me for me to wake up, or shake me until I press something on that robot. Even if I wake up and I don't press something, it means I'm not awake. Now, you as the creator, you train your machine in such a way, using various mechanisms in such a way, it will do the perfect thing you want before you bring it out. Because on your first training, it will make mistake. It will not automatically pick. So you will continuously train it. So you will make sure the machine is fully trained, and so you've experimented it more or several times before you actually put it to work. Because if you can't just give the data one day then says my machine is ready. No, if you do that with automated cars, you are going to kill people. These automated cars, you see, they are being trained several weeks, several months. The software is built and trained several ways. And so before it gets on the road, it knows whatever it's going to do. Even with those those properly trained ones, at times it gets accidents. So you have to make sure you've trained your thing and you've given the right data and you've actually experimented it to know, look, whenever it gets to 5 and my robot hears this alarm, it will come straight to me on the bed, hold me, shake me up till I press a button on it. Even if I wake up and I don't press a button on it, it should continue hold me tight and shake me. Now, you do this and experiment it more several times, because this it's something you are going to use, and if you don't take care, if you make mistake in it, you are going to cause a huge problem. For example, those in the car making industry, if they don't train it well, they are going to cause a whole lot of accident. They are going to kill people. Then you will be seated in the car, a car driving. You will see it will just go and hit a tree. It will enter the bush. Meanwhile, the road is there. Or it will see a car, then it will crash the car. You have to train it for several weeks, several months for it to know. So most of you have watched artificial intelligence movie whereby some people or some scientists will build their robot. You see, they keep them in labs and train them. They actually be testing them before everything is fine, before they are being brought out to perform whatever duties they have to do. Do you get it now?
Yes, please.
All right. Any question again before we move on? Okay, let's move on very fast. Now, acting humanly, your machine, because your sole goal of creating that machine or creating that intelligent software is to act like a human being. Okay, I've been using machines, but let's use a software. Okay, if you don't take care and you use Siri for the first time, you might think Siri is a human being in your phone that can actually, let me say, seeing what you are doing or something. But Siri, it's someone's recorded voice that has been trained to a software, then it's actually performing. So you train the software in such a way it will mimic as a human. Siri,
I didn't get that.
Siri, how are you doing?
Thanks.
Have you eaten, Siri?
Virtual assistants don't eat or drink, but we do love reading menus.
What's your favorite book, Siri?
Happy to go with your opinion on this one.
I hope you all can hear the conversation I just had with Siri. If you don't take care and it's your first time, you might think I'm speaking with actually someone in my computer. Yeah, you might actually think that. But Siri is a trained software. It's just a software. We've taken a certain female voice, train it. You can also make your changes to male voice. Trained it to behave, to act. So you see, I asked Siri the food it wants, or what. Where I asked Siri, how is it doing? Siri told me she is fine or it is fine. If it is your first time, you might think, no, this is a human being, but it's not a human being. It's just we've trained it with data. So it's acting as a human being. So if you are depressed, you can actually talk with Siri and you see Siri will be giving you more. You can talk to Siri. Siri, go to Google and search for this. Siri will do exactly for you because it's being trained to act like a human being. Any question here? All right. Now, acting rationally. Now, for example, you see, when I asked Siri, Siri, how are you doing? Let's go and listen to that again. Siri, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. Thanks.
Thank you, Siri. You see, when I asked Siri, how is Siri doing? Siri told me it is doing well, thanks. Siri didn't tell me it took in breakfast, or Siri didn't tell me it traveled to New York, or Siri didn't tell me this evening it hasn't eaten. You should understand the pattern here. Siri went to portray the rationale behind the question I asked. Siri noticed I'm asking how it is faring or how it is doing. So can you ask yourself, how can a machine know that I'm asking, why didn't it say I've eaten this? When I ask how is she doing, Siri is acting rationally. It's giving the correct response I'm expecting. That's the rational response. So Siri is acting rationally. When I ask Siri, what's your favorite book? Siri is not going to tell me I'm fine or I'm doing great. Let's go to Siri. Siri, what's your favorite book?
No, that one. Or maybe that one. Yep, that one.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Okay, here I asked of a book. Now Siri is showing me books it loves. It's not telling me it's doing fine or it's doing great. This is the rationale. Siri is acting rationally. So these are the four major points in artificial intelligence. You as artificial intelligence student, you should know. And whenever you see an intelligent machine or app acting, you should know these four are the key point or the basic fundamentals. Based on it, that's how it is acting like that. Any question before we move on? Okay, no question. Then we are moving on. Okay, now artificial intelligence, please note these things also down. Artificial intelligence is actually categorized into two main broad types. Every artificial intelligence app you will see, every one of them falls under each category here. Now, it either falls under narrow artificial intelligence or a strong artificial intelligence or artificial